From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, quick question for you. If you got a Roku or an Amazon Fire Stick, I want you to go over to your app store on those devices and search for Weather NorCal. Download the app for free and you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel whenever you want. It's on 24/7. If you have a smart TV with YouTube on it, you can search for Weather NorCal. Not only can you watch the 24-hour streaming channel on that, but you can also, on demand, watch any of my forecasts, my latest forecast, for example. And you can watch Coffee with Kruger live on all three of these platforms here at 6:30 Monday through Friday. Now, if you want to interact, you're going to have to go to your computer on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter or X, and you can ask questions there or just interact in general. But it's a great resource. I suggest you check it out. If you're a business, great source to have in the background while your customers are waiting. All right, let's get you to it. We do have some more patchy fog possibly tonight and into tomorrow. I do expect the main storm will arrive, though, for Tuesday night into Wednesday, with snow levels dropping with this system. They're going to start off high, but then eventually snow levels start to drop as the colder air begins to move in. We also have some pretty strong winds in the forecast as well. That'll be for your Wednesday and into Thursday. We're talking gusty winds here. We'll get into that here a little bit later. But let's take a look at what we can expect here tonight and into tomorrow. Mainly cloudy skies for the North Coast, inland, and Trinity County. But for the most part, it will be dry tonight. But I do expect for the North Coast and inland in particular to maybe see a few passing showers through the day tomorrow. And you know what? I think Trinity County may even see some of that as well. Now for the North State in the Valley, I think it'll be mainly dry. Could see some patchy fog tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. There may be a passing sprinkle or light shower through the day on Tuesday, but again, the main system not moving in until tomorrow night and Wednesday. There's Siskiyou County, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a passing shower, but the eastern mountains, I think, for the most part, will be dry tomorrow, including Modoc County. All right, so here's what I'm watching starting Wednesday when the storm system will really start to push through. I'm expecting heavy rainfall through the day. We are going to have a nice atmospheric river pointed right at Northern California, and what this will do is potentially bring us some heavy rainfall with the potential for some localized flooding, mudslides and debris flows, for example. Now, on top of that, as that storm system passes through very slowly, not only will we see the heavy rainfall, but I think we'll see some gusty winds. Winds strong enough where we could be looking at the potential for some power outages. Now, as I mentioned, snow levels will start off fairly high, 6,000 feet or higher. But eventually, later on in the week, we're talking about snow levels dropping down to as low as 2,000 feet. This could create some travel delays and some problems here over some of those mountain passes. So just a few things to kind of keep in mind as we go into Wednesday in particular. Now, looking at Futurecast, this is what I was talking about for tomorrow. Here's tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. You see how we're seeing some showers for the coast, maybe some light showers for, say, Siskiyou County, maybe even parts of Modoc County, but dry for the eastern mountains and dry for the valley. Okay, let's take you through the day on Tuesday. You see how there might be a passing sprinkle or light shower even for the valley on Tuesday, but most of it to the north and most of it to the west. Now by Tuesday, 6 p.m., we're beginning to see the leading edge of the storm system moving in, but this is just the beginning. Take a look at overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. The rain begins to pick up in intensity. Now, this is the main band of moisture right here all the way over here. I can't even stretch my arm long enough, but this right here is an atmospheric river. It's aimed right at Northern California. What's going to happen is it's going to slowly push itself to the east, but it's going to be a slow movement, and we're going to continue to see that feed coming in from the south, and it's going to bring us heavy rain throughout the day. All right, so let's take you to about 5 p.m. You see how it pushes eastward, but even through 5 p.m., everyone is seeing that heavy rain. Now, snow levels still fairly high. You can see at 5 p.m., we've got most of that snow, mainly even above Mount Shasta City, which would put us down to about 4,500 feet. So places like Chester, maybe some accumulating snow. But look at Alturas. It looks like it's going to be kind of the borderline there. But look at this. I mean, we're still seeing that heavy rainfall. This is what it kind of looked like, right, when we were looking at it at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 p.m., still that heavy rainfall in place. Now, I'm going to take you into Wednesday night at about 10 p.m. Now we're getting on the back edge of that rain, so the coast will start to dry out Wednesday night, but we're still seeing the heavy rainfall in the valley. Snow levels are starting to drop. I think eventually, by Wednesday night into Thursday, Mount Shasta City could be looking at the very least a rain-snow mix, but places, and not to mention around Bernie as well, although probably closer to Thursday. Upper Shingletown, like Viola, for example, might be looking at some snow, but lower Shingletown probably in the form of rain. Chester, Susanville, potential for some snow. All right, so let's take a look at the forecast rainfall totals through Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Looks pretty impressive, right? We're talking about 1 inch to possibly over 1.5 inches. Now, again, when you're seeing that steady rainfall, I think we could potentially see more than this. And this is when we're talking about leading to the potential for mudslides, debris flows, not to mention some rising creeks and streams and rivers, possibly overflowing, especially for the coast. I mean, look at that. Through 10 p.m., we're talking 2 to over 3 inches of rain. But of course, as we typically see, we're not seeing as much off to the north and to the east. So this is why when we look at the flash flood risk on Wednesday, green means it's a slight chance. Excuse me, a marginal chance, okay? And then we go into yellow saying, hey, there's a chance, a slight chance, we could be looking at the potential for some flooding for all of the areas in yellow here. And again, it's mainly going to be that runoff, already saturated ground, creeks, streams, rivers could overflow. And again, we can't forget about that potential for mudslides and debris flows for those mountain highways. So something to think about here. Now let's talk about snow. We're talking about flooding, now we're talking about snow. So here's through 10 p.m. Wednesday. You see how it's picking up at the potential for some accumulating snow for Chester. Not quite for Mount Shasta City, not quite for Bernie or even Alturas at this point. But by Thursday, Friday, colder air begins to move in, and I do expect to see even lower snow levels. But at this point, the heaviest rain, and not to mention snow, will have passed. Thursday, Friday, not as heavy. Take a look at the ski park. Yeah, it's looking pretty promising. Now here's the thing. We start off Wednesday, most likely in the form of rain for the ski park. I have no doubt about that. However, by Wednesday night into Thursday, I think it'll transition over into snow, all snow. Although through the day on Wednesday, I think snow levels will start to drop, so that will allow the ski park to, at least for the second half of the day on Wednesday, to start mainly in the form of snow going into Wednesday night and even into Thursday. So that looks pretty promising for the ski park, but that's also going to mean pretty bad travel conditions, so just be aware of that. All right, so here's a look at Futurecast. We're going to take you into your Thursday and Friday. See how we're seeing less in the way of that widespread rain. The atmospheric river is gone at this point, but we still have moisture to work with these storm systems. So you can see the showers, but look at the snow. You see how it's hugging the valley? This is why I'm anticipating somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 feet for Thursday and Friday. So yeah, we could be looking at some locally low snow levels, which will of course lead to some bad road conditions. Chain requirements, a very good possibility. Of course, this is something we'll be fine-tuning as we get closer to the end of the week, but you get the idea. We do have these storm systems coming through. They're out there, and we'll just have to fine-tune exactly their track, how much rain and how much snow we'll see. But there you can see, even going into early next week, we still have more rain in the forecast. So remember last Friday when I was talking about how we've got gorgeous weather in store for us for your Sunday and Monday, and that you can enjoy that weather guilt-free because there's more rain on the way? Well, we're seeing that. You just saw how much rain we're going to see here and the potential for flooding on top of that. Now, looking at the rainfall totals long range from now all the way through Sunday night, upwards of 4 to maybe 5 inches of rain for the coast. And this is upwards of 3 inches or more for the valley. So again, this is spread out in a matter of 7 days, but you get the idea. We've got some good rain heading our way. All right, let's take a look at the winds now. All right, it's mainly going to be Wednesday into Thursday that I expect the strongest winds. So here we are today, as we go into tomorrow, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, see how the winds are starting to pick up, but it's not major, but we're beginning to see the leading edge of that storm system approach and the winds start to pick up. Now, overnight, Tuesday night, midnight into early Wednesday morning. Look at the winds along the coast. Look at the winds in the mountains to the north and west. We're easily seeing gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. So this is when we could start to see some power outages. Down trees, power lines, the works, right? So we've got to be aware of that. But look at off to the east, right? Flaccid Peak, gusty winds, and some gusty winds even over some of the higher mountain peaks to the east. But overall, we're not seeing the stronger winds. They're picking up, but they're not as strong as they're seeing to the north and west. Let's take into Wednesday morning about 8 a.m. Once again, we're still seeing very strong winds over the mountains to the north and west, but also off in the eastern mountains, we're seeing some pretty gusty winds. But notice the valley not picking up just yet, but check this out. As we go to Wednesday around noon, now the valley is beginning to see stronger winds. Look at Mount Shasta. This is Mount Shasta City that we're looking at. Gusts over 50 miles per hour, not to mention places like Weed, 50, 60 miles per hour. So now we're seeing widespread, very gusty winds across Northern California midday Wednesday. Now remember, the back edge of that rain was moving out for the coast on Wednesday. That's when the winds will start to die down there as well. But now we're seeing very gusty winds for the valley. Could see gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour for some of us in the valley. So this is something we're going to have to watch here. I think it's going to be Wednesday night, and into Thursday morning that we'll see some of the strongest winds. Okay, so now let's take a look at the long range. Take a look at the precipitation outlook for February 4th through the 8th. Looks like we have very good chances of seeing at least rainfall, potentially above normal rainfall. On top of that, we've got colder air moving in, below normal temperatures in the forecast. This helps to support the fact that we expect to see lower snow levels. Okay, switching gears now, we take a look at our wave heights for your marine forecast, and there is a look at Tuesday evening. See how those wave heights are starting to increase? That's because the approaching storm system. Look at Wednesday. Those wave heights do pick up again, upwards of 15 to 17 feet. So here's a marine forecast for your Tuesday. South winds at 10 to 20 knots, waves from the west at 10 feet at 13 seconds. And there's a small craft advisory for your Tuesday. All right, here's what it looks like for tonight. Temperatures dropping down right around 50, give or take, for the valley. Should stay above freezing for most of us in the higher elevations. That's, of course, those overcast skies, some of the patchy fog out there as well. And then for Trinity County, mid-40s, low 50s for inland, and it looks like low 50s here along the coast as well. All right, here's your neighborhood by neighborhood forecast, starting off with Trinity County. Temperatures for your Tuesday will be in the upper 50s to low 60s for your daytime highs. And there you can see, of course, see temperatures dropping, snow levels dropping as well. All right, let's take a look at your North Coast forecast for your Tuesday. Temperatures in the mid-60s for your Tuesday. Mid to upper 50s Wednesday, Thursday. And, of course, there's your Tuesday forecast. So temperatures still fairly mild for your Tuesday. 68 degrees for Smith River, 65 for Gas Key, and 66 degrees in Orleans. Now, here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. These temperatures should be in the mid-50s, although some of the warmer spots like Eureka, about 61, around 63 for Hornbrook, and McDowell, about 55 degrees. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast for your Tuesday. Temperatures in the upper 50s for your daytime highs. Now, you can see here snow levels also dropping down to 2,000 feet by Friday and around 2,500 feet next Sunday, and then next Monday after that, maybe back up to about 4,500 feet. So we might actually start to see those snow levels rise as we go into early next week. Here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 58 for Bernie, 56 for Viola. Looks like Shingletown about 61, and Paradise a little bit warmer at about 63 degrees. All right, let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast for the valley, brought to you by Haas Farms. Those temperatures still in the mid-60s for your daytime highs, so still a pretty mild day out there, but temperatures starting to drop. We're going to see more clouds and maybe a passing sprinkle or light shower, but for the most part, it will be dry. There's the heavy rain and gusty winds for your Wednesday, more showers off and on for Thursday, Friday, maybe a break on Saturday, and then more showers for Sunday into Monday. Here's your forecast for the valley, for the north end of the valley, Redding about 66, 66 in Anderson and Palisadro, and looks like the city of Shasta Lake about 64 degrees. So here's your 7-day outlook for Redding. Now again, we've got the rain, we've got the gusty winds, we've got showers off and on for Thursday, Friday. Temperatures are dropping too. We're back down to the low 50s by Friday through the weekend and into early next week.